Ed's getting this big fish closer and closer. We have deep color on it now. Great fishing on the Amigo. Big fish, tough fish. This on the fly line. Ed is so relaxed and doing things just textbook. Ed, how long you been on this?
At least 20 minutes.
I know, man. Getting awful close by looking at your reel there.
What a great catch for Ed. As you see this magnificent fish come to gaff on board the Amigo, Ed did everything right. He stayed relaxed, he put pressure on the fish, and he listened to the crew. Beautiful fish coming on board the Amigo. It doesn't get any better than this.
I'll take it.
Yeah, Ed.
Hold him, my baby.
Yeah, nice.
Today on board the Freedom at a 22nd Street landing in San Pedro, California, that easy limits of bluefin tuna, 15 to 25 pound class. The fish wanted 20 pound fluorocarbon with a number 4 hook. It was a long drift, so it's a plunker bite. Choose your bait wisely. Choose a good hot bait and change it regularly. Long soaks were a great way to get a bite. What a day for 11-year-old Michael Limon and his grandpa. They'll never forget today's day on board the Freedom.
Again, trying to do it.
Do it, Steve. It's always good to see you here.
It's great to be out here.
Hey, what the heck are you doing?
Trying to get this bastard in.
Beautiful, Mark. Thank you, boys. Good job, Steve. Woo!
Another fatty. Thanks to Freedman Adventures.
Steve is a great inspiration to me and so many others. He's not letting anything hold him back from getting out into the great outdoors. Nice catch, Steve. Hey, good morning, my friends, and welcome to a beautiful Monday morning here in Surfside, California. It is so great to be here with you all on this lovely morning. You can kind of feel fall in the air. It's a little chilly down here this morning, but there's no wind. The ocean's absolutely gorgeous, and there is some awfully good fishing going on, as you could see by the lead-in. The Freedom yesterday had a magnificent trip. So did the Amigo and several other boats. We'll be talking about what's going on down around the Mexican-American border. There's some awfully good fishing going on. And big bluefin tuna continue to bite in San Diego. The Pacific Queen had one of the best days they've ever seen on big bluefin tuna. How can it get any better than that? We've also seen some fish up in the Channel Islands. I'm talking bluefin tuna. There's still albacore up there around Fort Bragg, but that window is starting to close as a cold front moves in on that area. We've got our October 20th trip on board the Independence, a 5-day trip that still has some openings. We'd love you to join us. IndependenceSportFishing.com. And of course, lobster season's on the horizon. We'll save you 10% on your lobster hoop netting nets and everything that you need to get out and catch some langosta. You know what time it is, my friends. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh my God, is that good or what? Man, it is so great to be spending this Monday morning with you. Thank you so much for joining us. Hit that like button if you would, please. We deeply appreciate your great support. Share these reports if you are enjoying them. Tick the bell. You'll be notified when there's new content. And leave a comment right below there. That would be really fantastic if you could do that. Also, don't forget to visit us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We appreciate all that you are doing. We're this close to 4 million YouTube views, and of course we've got millions and millions of other views on our social media. Really great stuff going on here at Freedman Adventures. Hey, I know it's early to mention this. I just want you to put it on your calendar. We'll be at the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club December 2nd for the Freedman Adventures Christmas party, and you are all invited. So make sure you mark that on the calendar. We'd love to see you there. There'll be food and fun and raffles and so many great celebrities from the sport fishing industry for you to meet, shake hands with, and have a great evening and get into the Christmas spirit. That is going to be a lot of fun. I'll guarantee you that. All right. I do want to mention to you that you can save 10% on all your lobster gear by going to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, right there on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and PCH. Or you can go to promarahi.com Promar.com. Put in Freedman 10 at checkout. You get a 10% savings when you order direct from Promar and get all your lobster stuff taken care of. That is Freedman 10 at checkout, and you'll be all tuned up. There is a lot of great stuff. Tonight we'll be live 6 p.m. with my good friend Sam De La Torre from Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California. You'll be able to ask questions, find out what tackle is appropriate. Sam's right there at Island Fishing Tackle with yours truly. He can run off and grab a reel and show it to you and show you exactly what you want to gear up for this present bite, because there are some big bluefin tuna. I'm telling you, it can't get much better than it is right now. All right, let's jump into it. We'll go south of the border first of all, down to the beautiful port city of Ensenada, about 70 miles south. If you're not familiar with the geography, you can drive there. A lot of boats run down there and fish. But if you drive across the border, you get to experience Baja hospitality, the food, the culture, the people, the fishing. And it's pretty darn good down there. Offshore, we are seeing on the kelp patties a little bit of dorado, not all that much, but more yellowfin just pushing up. And there's pulses of it. So some days you go out there and you blank, man, you don't catch anything at all. Where did they go? And then 48 hours later, boom, you get hit by another wave of YFT. They are around. You have to keep your eyes open. Sometimes it's as subtle as a little turnbird making a dip, and he's dipping on bait or dipping on fish. And you get over there, troll, and get bit on the feathers, or you shut down and get some bait in the water, or you yo-yo some iron, or you throw a popper. Yellowfin tuna are really voracious feeders. Most of the time, they're not going to act like bluefin, kind of finicky. They want to bite. And we're seeing pretty good fishing down there. But again, it is hit and miss. On the local scene down there in Ensenada, you're going to find bonita and a few yellowtail, some barracuda still hanging out. Calico bass is really good around the Punta Banda area. And it's such a gorgeous, rugged place to fish. I love fishing that zone. And also plenty of rockfish down there. Let's cross across the border and get up here into SoCal, into the San Diego area. And really what we'll talk about is offshore fishing in general, because boats from San Diego as well as LA Orange County can fish these zones. Best to fish them on day-and-a-half trips, but we are seeing some outstanding fishing on yellowfin, bluefin, and so much more. The Pacific Queen said they saw some of the best big fish fishing, bluefin tuna, that they've ever seen, and that means a lot to yours truly, because the Queen, just day in and day out, they produce. They're always on the fish. They've got a great crew. It's a great fishing platform going back to the days of Eddie McCune, a dear friend of mine. It's just maintained that great reputation for working hard and catching lots of fish. And when they say they had one of the biggest big fish days of their recent history, maybe even the entire boat. I mean, they're talking like this was one of the greatest trips ever. Man, that says a lot. These big fish are tough. 100 to 200 plus pound fish biting. You can get them at night when you're fishing knife jigs. Of course, that's when you get a little bit of an advantage. One, those fish seem disoriented at night and they don't fight as hard. Number two, you've got them on the really heavy tackle. You got to have at least 100-pound spectra. I like 130. You've got to have 200-pound leaders. You can even go a little heavier than that. And the weight of the jig is going to vary from night to night. Lately, it's been anywhere from 250 to 400 to fish these bluefin at night. And while it's been hit and miss at night, there's been some really good fishing here recently. Again, it's starting to pick up some steam and starting to bite. So that looks really, really good. In the daytime, it's a lot of fly line fishing. And of course, the admonition that I'll give each and every one of you is hook those fish, those bluefin, on as heavy a line as you can get them to bite. And that's going to take your observational skills, and that's going to change day to day. And it's going to mean making friends with a crew member and talking to those guys and, looking at them. If you're not sure, say, what should I go in the water with? Do I go with the 40-pound, 60-pound? Do I have to drop down to 25-pound? It's all fluorocarbon. You want to be fishing fluoro for sure. It's abrasive resistant. Number one, it gets bit better. Number two, www.optionusa.com. Put in FA at checkout, and that will do you some good. Now, sometimes you not only have to drop the fluorocarbon down, you have to drop your hook size down, maybe to a number 4, So you've just got to be paying attention. Every day is different. That has been the constant this year. Change. That's the constant. It just is in a constant state of flux, constantly changing, and it's really exciting to get in on that. What a trip on board the Pacific Queen. That was a great one. How about blacktail hooks? My friend Sky and his girlfriend Izzy, who manages to outfish him every single time. Way to go, Izzy. Talk about girl power. They were on board the Amigo yesterday. Just kidding, Sky. Izzy paid me to say that. Really great trip on board the Amigo. In fact, Jason Lawler, the galley chef on board the Amigo, said, Phil, some of the best fishing we've seen all year. We went down to the border, and it was great. 28 bluefin, 91 yellowfin tuna, a flathead to go along with that. Jason said they were in an 8.5-hour drift. Man, that is great fishing, and I know a lot of those fish, if not all of them, were caught on blacktail hooks. What a great trip on board the Amigo out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California. We just had that recent great trip with the boys on the Amigo. We'll be back with them on October 8th. I can't wait. Private boater Derek Rangel with great tuna fishing. Private boaters have been all over this bite. It's been fantastic for those guys also. Now, the one-day boats out of San Diego, kind of hit and miss. Some got them, some didn't. They're going to get back on that fish. In fact, I think today is going to be a big day for them. San Diego, 29 guys, 18 bluefin, 18 yellowfin tuna. Polaris Supreme on a 3-day trip, 24 guys, 88 bluefin tuna. Freedom yesterday, 22nd Street Landing, San Pedro. Limits of bluefin tuna. Of course, Michael Limon was on that trip. 11-year-old Michael Limon, whose grandpa, Dan Lightfoot, I got it right, Dan. I didn't call you Lighthouse this morning. Dan Lightfoot uses the carrot and the stick with his grandson. He says, Michael, if your grades are good and you keep working hard in school, you get to go fishing and experience some really great fishing. And Michael had such a great time with his grandpa yesterday on board the Freedom. In fact, Michael knocked out. He caught so many fish and had so much fun. Michael, way to go. And Dan, you are a great grandpa. Man, it is an honor to call you my friend. I have to tell you that right now. El Dorado, 47 bluefin, 6 yellowfin tuna, 260 pounds. There's some big fish running around. There's a variety in size. 5-pound bluefin. You see occasional fish like that, mostly 18 to 40 pounders, but then you get those 100, 200 plus pounders. They are great fish, big fish. You got to keep changing your tackle, changing your bait. It seems like that butt hook bait works really well, but we had a guy on our most recent Amigo trip, Bill, and Wild Bill, said, I'm nose hooking, and he went 3 for 3 on the bluefin tuna, nose hooking his bait. So really great fishing right now, and I think it's going to keep coming and heading this way. Up there in the area of Fort Bragg, I just want to mention, they are still catching albacore. Pete Grossman checked in with us. The Control Chaos is a boat up there that's been fishing this fish. They were all over the albacore again yesterday. Really great albacore, but Pete says, Phil, this window is starting to shut down on us. That water temperature edge that is holding that albacore is starting to melt, and we're going to get a cold front that's going to push in there. Could spell the end to the albacore bite. We'll watch it for you very, very closely. Keep our eyes on it and see where we go from here. So some spectacular big fish biting right now, not only for the Queen, several other boats in on it. A little bit better nighttime bite going on right now, and great fishing on the Amigo down at the border, and several other boats got in on it also. San Diego based one-day boats will be on it again. Scott Buchert is on board the Mission Bell and the Point Loma. He's decking on both boats. He said it was a little bit slower yesterday, but he's confident that today is going to be good, and both the Bell and the Point Loma have plenty of openings for the rest of the week. I got a feeling they're going to get back on that fish. Keep your eyes on the ball. It's going to bite. Stay here with us on the morning briefing as we'll keep you in touch with all the very latest. Let me talk to you about islands briefly, because nobody cares about the islands right now. It's offshore mania here in Southern California. Down there at the Coronado Islands, few yellows, calico bass, few yellows at Clemente. At Catalina Island, I see a few calico bass there, occasional yellowtail, good sheep's head, whitefish, that kind of thing. Rockfish in the deep water, you got to fish over 300 feet right now. Channel Islands, really great on the bottom, stuff with their whitefish, sheepshead, deep water, rock cut, and they get a pop on the bluefin from time to time. 3 white sea bass on the Aloha Spirit yesterday out of Cisco Sport Fishing in Oxnard. Nothing wrong with that. So there's some good fishing. I do have to mention a good friend of mine. Well, I mean, I haven't known him that long, but I just feel like he's a good friend, and that is John Garma, who's a fantastic guy. I love John. He was the guy who had that 205-pound bluefin tuna on our most recent Amigo trip. He was up in Burgess in Morro Bay fishing on the Fiesta. The guy is a fishing crazed angler. I mean, he's out all over the place. And check out these big lings. He had an 18.5 and a 14-pound ling. John, can't wait to see you on October the 8th. That is going to be fantastic. Up there in the Channel Islands, once again, Coral Sea limits of rockfish. Good fishing up there for the San Diego-based boats. Along the coast here, John Ho was on board the Dolphin out of Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, and the local bite was great. John said they had a great bonita bite, they had calico bass, they had rockfish, sheepshead, whitefish, really nice variety down there. And that goes for the San Diego-based boats in general. Oceanside, Dana Orr sport fishing, some good local fishing for sheepshead, whitefish, rockfish in the deep water, and really good table fare for everybody there. Up here in the LA Orange County area, the Enterprise and Patriot and the Victory and the Monte Carlo, all catching good amounts of rockfish in the deep water, and then whitefish and sheepshead. And even the Monte Carlo loaded up on some sand dabs yesterday, which are about $30 for 2 of those on a plate at some places when you have dinner. So don't scoff at those sand dabs, man. They cost quite a pretty penny if you want to take someone out for dinner. Going to cost you $100 to get 2 of those. So really nice fishing going on the local scene. Marina del Rey, Redondo, a little bit of bass, mostly rockfish, sculpin, whitefish, sheepshead. And up in the Channel Islands, Cody Rogers on the Island Spirit. Those boys have been all over. Some really great fishing up there. Sheepshead, whitefish, that kind of razzmatazz going on up there in that neck of the woods. On the coast, we're seeing good corvina fishing in the short water there in the very shallows. Up here in a foot or 2, you fish a sand crab. That works really well for you. Sand crab or a sandworm you can dig up. Or you can go to Southern California's surf fishing headquarters right down there. Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, right there on the corner of Pacific Coast Highway and Seal Beach Boulevard. They do a great job, and they have all kinds of bait down there for you, all your surf fishing gear, as well as big game fishing gear for bluefin and everything else. And don't forget, 10% off your lobster gear for a limited time. Go to Big Fish and save 10% today. They'll take good care of you. Up there in the Santa Monica Bay, still some good corvina fishing going on. Yellowfin, croaker, halibut also in the surf. I like throwing a chrome crocodile 3/4 ounce in the surf for those yellowfin croaker. That works really well. So we are seeing some outstanding fishing just about everywhere we look. I love the offshore scene. Don't forget, give us a like if you have a chance. Share these videos and make sure you drop a comment down below. Tick the bell. You'll be notified when there's new content. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're available for you there. Don't forget tonight, live 6 p.m., Tackle Shop Confessions with Sam De La Torre. That's going to be a great show. We just dropped a new video, our 2-day trip on board the Amigo. You're going to love it, man. That was so much fun. So many great people, great fishing, and of course we got entertained by Mark Sonoda down there on deck. Mark Paisano Jr. doing a great job. George in the galley, and Mark Belmonte doing a fabulous job on deck. And Nick Hawkins, it was absolutely fantastic. We had so much fun. Check out that video as it has just dropped, and I'll be keeping you up to date all day long if anything else goes on, and I suspect that something really good might happen today. All right, my friends, thanks for taking time out of your busy Monday morning to spend some time with me. Don't forget, go to Walk with Phil on YouTube. New channel about getting healthy, walking, proper diet, all the things that I think can make us all healthy together. We can work on that. Now, I'm thinking about doing another Walk with Phil at 22nd Street Landing this Sunday. So stay tuned. In the next 2 days or so, I'll announce that. We just all go out and do a walk, come back, drink coffee, talk fishing, politics, whatever you want to talk, we can do that as long as we do it respectfully, and that'll be great. December the 2nd, the Redondo Rod and Gun Club. That's going to be a fun Christmas party. Just want you to put it on your calendar. I'm not trying to get carried away with Christmas in September. All right. Have a great day, my friends. Thanks for joining us. And as always, I hope to see you really, really soon.